can see some things that they've done before. They can try to prepare for the maps they like to go on, yada yada. You get the gist. I'll stop going on that topic because we're finally into the game. You can see Pinnacle side with me, but maybe not too much. 1.6 to 2.3 to kick us off. And you know, I still think there's something missing from that. But look, we're vibing. We're chilling here in the heart of the Mediterranean, and we're chilling here on Ancient. I'm excited to see this map. It's one of my favorite in the pool, so I think we get to start things off with a little bit of a treat. 4-man B-stack for the Young Ninjas, trying to anti-strat a basic pistol from Sangal Esports, but they're taking their sweet time on this one. Two come out middle, and one of them's got the bomb on his back, so if Rolf connects a nice headshot or two, Senegal's Esports pistol might just fall down the drain. I do like the little bit of a boost they tried to pull off there, but that's exactly what I was worried for, because there's that one nice shot I was talking about, and they know exactly what's up, at least when it comes to the bomb carrier. And Sampich is now chipped in a 2K with the dualies, 2 guns, 2 kills, and it puts him in an almost unwinnable 2-on-5. Heading up to the bomb site, Kyubi's giving them a little bit of room to work with, but still going to need a whole lot more as he looks to isolate more 1v1s in through Temple. This bomb can go down. Sensei's found a little bit of a gap in the defense, and that's something you could look forward to. 2-on-4 now as the post plant somewhat favors the CT side. They're looking to crunch in from every single direction, but again, another kill comes back, and you're going to start getting a little upset if you keep letting these 1v1s slip by your fingertips. But Sapich with the dualies once again chips in for a 3rd kill, looking for the final. As Kyubi's now stuck in Temple on 1 HP. Nothing more than it, and there's nothing more to it as ZTR looks to stick the bomb. Sapich locks in a quadra kill on the 1st round, and the Young Ninjas strike first. I'd say it's a big round for them, but it's not really. We all know in this current meta, usually it's the 2nd round that matters the most. And to my surprise, Sangal Esports doesn't look like they're going to force up into this round. It looks like they're just going to go with a couple of basic pistols, try to get a couple of kills, but for the majority of it, they're just playing for the next round. And really, you can't blame them. With how CT-sided a map like Ancient is, you let them have these free B rounds, right? You're only going to have you only need like 3 or 4 rounds to consider something a good half on the T side of this map. So sooner you get the rifles out, the better. And I honestly, like I say all the time, that it's an unsung liberty of being on this T side to start off with, right? Like when you only really have to worry about picking up 4 or 5 rounds max, you can be okay with cherry picking around here or there, or maybe only stringing 2 together at a time. That's not a problem. So it also favors those who take a while to get started. But certainly not going to matter in this round as the Young Ninjas don't take a single fatality. Good job for them to keep the bank accounts blistering, but we can see betting odds haven't really shifted in one favor or the other just yet. Still sticking around that margin to see what's going to happen in the first gun round. This might turn some heads. This is Sangal Esports' chance to really start to make their name on the server. And they've been able to bring out the off early, too. Sensei with his weapon of choice. Definitely happy with how this one's panned out, but he won't be going for an aggressive mid-pick. In fact, just waiting to see what the Young Ninjas do. And they're doing a whole lot on the B side of the map, at least, with all this control and seeing absolutely nobody. Sangal Esports are put on one hell of a back burner for the time being, with an aid being chipping down onto Soulfly's HP bar. He'll fall under 70, and Ninjas, well, they're not going to vacate the area anytime soon. In fact, continuing to dump this util, and they've even got another smoke on Sapich, so it's not like Sangal are going to be even tasting the likes of VRAM for quite some time. Finally, some counter util thrown in by that of Sangal, who looks to take up middle. Beautiful flash comes in, and the Young Ninjas almost walk away with 2. Thankfully, the double swing mounts them with a kill back. But damage inflicted is still something super meaningful, as Corey's on 10 HP. Skrunk, he's still got some to work with, but also not that great as they look to regroup over at the B site. The final smoke has now expired, and they can try to make something happen of this. The issue being, though, that with how much util the Young Ninjas threw over at this part of the map to commit to this play, you got to clear all your little nooks and crannies, right? You can't really let any stone be unturned as you go for this B side exec. One of these crucial stones is going to be Jaquinho's MP9 into cave, but he's instantly taken down, and it looks like that little advantage that they were giving themselves at the start of the round means nothing in the grand scheme of it, because it's a 2-on-4. It's probably not even going to be attempted, to be honest with you. There's a couple of guns down for the young ninjas to try and retrieve, including an A1S over towards Catwalk. So Rope's probably going to upgrade to that, maybe bring it into the next round. But, oh, okay, hold on. We see a boost coming in. Corey, he's the one defending against it with 1 HP. But what a one-tap. I told you, man, this kid's interesting to watch, and you could probably see why with that shot alone. Beautiful stuff from him. And this is what I was talking about. Sangal Esports, they shut down 1 buy round. And things aren't looking too bad for them. They still have to go through another investment from the young ninjas. This was a bonus round, but keeping 4 players alive is so massive, especially with how things started out with the health. Very happy with that one. As the European squad looks to charge onto a pretty damn decent T side. Now we may I'd like to say you might see a save, but I don't know why I would say that. That would completely contradict what I just said. Anywho, look at this again, man. Beautiful flick. It's not even like he was pre-aiming it, too. Sometimes you see players pre-aim that, and they get a one-tap. It's like, yeah, okay, it's cool, but that was full-on skill right there. Beautiful mechanics from the young gun himself. I also love this nade from ZTR, man. I don't think I've seen that one before. But a missed mid-smoke. I'm not too sure if this was intentional or not, but even if it was, I don't think it was the right idea because Corey, off of the hot streak he has from the previous round, will continue his dominance for the opening kill. And young ninjas are instantly once again put on a back burner that they don't even want to re-aggress towards any part of the map to try to quell the fire of 2 over towards B, 2 on A, and to have success on a map like Ancient, you've got to have good rotates. So maybe they've got faith in that, but still you can see some uncertainty across the defenses. They're looking to completely vacate the A bomb site. And I love how slow Senegal is taking it right now with just barely getting themselves into middle. You know, they were considering having somebody lurk into the A tunnels. They aren't committing to something off the start of the round, but now it looks like they're going to try to commit into the B site where 3 CTs for the young ninjas are ready and waiting. And even a 4th man isn't too far behind with Jaquinho all the way over towards the mid-house. Once again, though, timer starts to tick incredibly low. And Senegal have yet to make their move. 1 man up isn't going to be doing you any favors if you come walking into a stack with 20 seconds left. At least they have cave control, but the Molotov coming in from LNZ is going to stall them out for the time being. Flash is good, and Sapich gets caught with his back turned. Corey, the only man to find kills so far in this round, and he's doubled down. Still looking for more. Everybody from Young Ninjas is in the exact same position. The bomb will be allowed to get planted, and Corey continues his reign of terror. A 3K in the round with only 1 frag being answered back from the Ninjas. And Sangal Esports have answered back with a tie game off the start. What a massive play, man. That's huge. The fact that Corey gets away with 3, like even 4 there is incredible. But it's just another reason that you got to keep your eyes on him. And now you see Young Ninjas taking a save. You've only really got like 2 more rounds for an error margin if you're the Ninjas, but at least you got the right. Never mind. I was going to say at least they had the right idea with the stack, but it just doesn't matter. 1 flashbang annihilates them, and it's a full house between the 2 of Soulfly and Kyubi, meaning it's quickly into the next round. The 6th may decide quite some, what's the word I'm looking for? Meaning, I guess we'll say, in this map. Senegal, having that weight lifted off of your shoulders so early can be such a big deal. Get a replay of this, man. Kyubi, beautiful spray transfer on the first 3. A bit shaky on the remainder of them, but that's what his entire team was there for, to ensure that they could trade him out. Once again, good flash usage, but this time Scrunk can't take advantage of it. He's the one to fall. Meaning Senegal have to make a move elsewhere. That's going to be at the A-bomb site with technically only 1 man there. Rolf's now got to back away into the corner here. The smoke will isolate him. And they've been able to work some room into their back pocket, though they still have to find a kill or 2 before all is going to be said and done, because Sapich still holding on to Temple with dear life. The FAMAS may be the weakest weapon of the CT side, but pulling out an aid, definitely not optimal. They continue to look for these kills, and they continue to find them. Damage inflicted back, but still. Finding themselves in a 3-on-3 post plant ain't too shabby. Though Soulfly is stuck between a rock and a hard place on the middle of the bomb site, he's just going to play patiently and bite his tongue for the time being. One from CT, two from Donut. The first peek comes in, and they don't win it. ZTR falls, and Soulfly is a beast right now. Picking up two. He'll burn alive an LNZ's Molly, but it's really not going to matter. Nade comes flying in, but it's going to do more damage to him than anybody else. Tries to use the smoke that it covers as a cover for himself. But the only cover he's got is the 50 cal bullet being put into his chest by Sensei. And I gotta say, we're seeing some beautiful skins. Look at these gloves. Look at that knife combo. And he's even got a bang it off, too. If you want to be fly like that, if you want your friends to envy you when you go into a matchmaking server going 4-20, then go ahead and check out our partners at LCase, because they're running a pretty snazzy giveaway. This is crazy, man. The Ninjas, they started off with a dominant 2 rounds. Sapich started off with a quad kill on the pistol with dualies of all guns. And now we're about to see them get all the rounds they should be getting in this entire half within the first 7. Everything from this point forward is mileage. And I think we're starting to see why Senegal picked this map. Maybe a couple of kills can come flying back. Chiquinho set up properly with the P250, and now roll here to trade with the Deagle. Never mind, absolutely not. A triple from Soulfly, a double from Corey, and once again a full house. Mount Senegal Esports, 5 rounds. Man, oh man, this is kind of shocking. The Swedes just haven't been able to find an answer yet for the defense. Maybe now they can pick one up, considering Chiquinho wields the AWP, finally getting the big green out in the big green map, which usually is an integral part of the CT side in the holds, right? I mean, this is very commonly considered a double op map. Speaking of ops, we're about to get an op duel over towards the B site with Sensei cleanly winning his and instantly opening up the B site there for LNZ. Catches Soulfly lingering up through a smoke. And with Sensei doubling down, he knows that's not the only man that sits behind the corner, continuing their dominance as Senegal, as there really just hasn't been a test in this round. The bomb's about to go down, and you're about to see 6 go in their back pocket. Young Ninjas, they just have to save their weaponry, man. You can't give over these rifles. It's really your only chance in the next round. And they know it. That's why they're backing all the way up in through T-spawn. So many angles to clear out here too, right? I feel like there hasn't really been a dedicated save spot because of how somewhat new this map is and how underutilized this area really is alongside it. So that is something that I still find interesting about Ancient, even though it's been in the map here for what, half a year, something like that. Quite some time. It still has some new tricks to be discovered. Every time you watch it, you're always in for a treat. And now we see those odds that I was discussing earlier start to turn the opposite direction. Pretty much opposite of what they were coming into the map. Looks like Senegal now have a pretty good lead to say to Pinnacle, you know what? That's fine. You can have the favoritism for now. Basic util usage so far, and the Young Ninjas know that something has to change, but they assumingly are going to try to do, never mind. ZTR throws the exact same nade molly combo that he did in a couple of rounds prior. But I guess, you know, it isn't, it's technically an eco. Not really expecting much to come of this, but it sucks that the flash is perfect and it completely unravels the boost, meaning both of your guns have hit the pavement. Though, actually, never mind. I thought LNZ would not be able to get one. Still shouldn't matter in a 4v2. He's on the wrong side of the map, and so is his teammate. B site once again wide open for the taking, and Senegal are going to take their sweet time and ensure they don't make any mistakes on the approach. But no, maybe overthinking this one as the bomb's now been retrieved and they look to head towards the A site. This is the only chance that LNZ has to strike. He can strike some fear into the hearts of that of Senegal, especially with a Molotov still to be used. It's all about buying time at this point as the timer continues to tick ever so much lower. AK retrieved and roll swings into scene. Nothing but enemies in front of him. LNZ. If he waits, if he buys his time, if he plays his cards right, and things could get with... Oh, never mind. Never mind. I liked what he did there, right? So what he assumed was that Kyubi was just going to go straight into CT so we could get some room for his team to work with. And then that round could be entirely different. Depending on how they decide to get the bomb down, maybe that's a 1v1 he can isolate. The timer's super low. He can try to play around that. But no. His luck quickly dwindles out. Just like he did from the server in that round. Anywho, into the 10th we go with Senegal 1 round from victory at the bare minimum on this T side. Which so far has been pretty damn hot. 7 rounds in a row, looking to keep that streak up. Unless the Ninjas can finally change something and adapt around this. Well, that's definitely not the right adaptation. Sapich tries to make something work, but the only thing working is Sensei's up once again as they wield themselves a 4v5 man advantage. And that's also something that I've liked so far, at least, about Senegal esports, how they'll find a kill, how they'll find 2 or 3, and they won't go charging into one of these sites. Sometimes, maybe that's not the right move, you know, like on Inferno, you find 2 kills at B, you should probably just take the site at that point, but it's still all about negating the errors that they can make, keeping it at a minimal standpoint so they don't have to worry in the long run. Well, oh well. Still, haven't really made a move, and I like this. They're about to go straight up through mid into the A-bomb site. Rolf not spotting for it just yet, and a smoke in the house could maybe give them a little bit of an inkling suspicion of what's about to happen. Too late to counter it, though, I assume, as complete donut control is in the hands of the Turkish, who now blister their way onto this A-bomb site. ZTR holding for the push in through CT, but really not going to matter all that much with all the map control that they have right now. Even Corey sitting in house, and here's these footsteps. So, they actually attempt this retake, they'll be right on their tail, and I don't know if they're going to, because LNZ is still contemplating maybe just saving them through donut. Yeah, they're just calling it off. Damn, I haven't seen this in quite some time, but you can't really blame them. Lack of util. They've got kits, sure, but you've also still have such an importance on keeping your weaponry, but it's not going to be important if Corey sprays both of them down, and those are your 2 biggest weapons checked out of it. 8-2 is guaranteed, and the op, it's not. The Ninjas, that's exactly what they wanted. It was their gateway out. I think ZTR should still be able to hold on to it. Yeah, LNZ, beautiful angle behind that smoke. You could see what they were trying to do. He wanted to make sure that couldn't be saved, and as soon as he heard ZTR pick it up, he was like, about time to make a move. But it's now about time that the Young Ninjas call a timeout. Like, this needs to be discussed. What is going on? This map, super heavily CT-sided, and it couldn't look further from the truth right now. Maybe this timeout, this slowing down of the pace is what they need to get back on track, because at the very best right now, you're walking away 7-8, and that's not good. Let me tell you right now. You're still like relying on a T-sided pistol round victory to propel yourselves back into this game, regardless of what the scoreline's going to be heading into that second half. So, it's been mileage for quite some time for Senegal, and it's still going to be, as looks like they want to take into mid once again. Some flashes are perfectly placed, and nobody for the Ninjas is yet here to punish them, continuously throwing flashes as both teams, and ZTR is wrapped around enemy lines, but not for too long, as they still didn't deal with Corey, and the trade is instantaneous. Rolf shoots a couple of bullets into Sapich next up on the chopping block. LNZ, he's still lying around the corner. And the reload is really what gets Corey punished, but now it looks like Senegal look to activate over towards the A side, or maybe not. Put a fork in it, guys. See if you can activate anything over towards B, because with Soulfly finding that kill, you may have a big gap to exploit on this defense. And he knows it too. Look at all the room he's just given over to his teammate. Soulfly, he is not going to be doing anything but running with his knife out to get this bomb down. And there isn't much util to slow them down from coming in either. Yeah, you've got a Molotov, but that's really not going to be doing you any favors in this situation. You're going to have to win this on kills, and you know it. And that's not a kill you can let slip through your fingertips. The bomb will be planted, and with Rolf on 32 HP, this nade could be all it takes to take care of him. No! Scrunk gets caught with the pin pulled, and the Young Ninjas do at least bounce back for 1 round past the timeout. You still need all 4 of these rounds to go your way, man. And I'm gonna be real with you, Roll Fido, I have no clue why you're BM in there. I got no clue why you're BM in there, man. Well, there's still a chance for them. Can't count that out. We've seen it before from these guys. I'm sure we'll see it again at some point. Whether it be today, whether it be tomorrow, I'm sure we'll see it again. Well, Senegal, once again, is just going to spread out across the map, looking for an opener to be gifted over to them, which, for a majority of these T-sided rounds, has been. I mean, even in the previous, I'm pretty sure it was, if I'm not mistaken. No, they lost the opening duel. And there's so many, like, different points in the previous round where it could have flopped into Senegal's hands, right? Where Corey, maybe he reloads in a different spot, or maybe he has Soulfly coming just a bit quicker, and he doesn't fall. Who knows, man? You can't keep talking about ifs or buts, though. Looks like they have an interest in hitting the B site. We see the A-Lurk now looking to come back towards the opposite side of the map, but maybe some mid-presence being shown from Kyubi. Again, one kill unravels this entire plot, but with 45 seconds to go, once again, they let the timer be the biggest thing going against them for the time being. Sapich and LNZ are the only men over at the B site right now, with one molly to slow them down from actually getting in. I don't know how well that's going to do them, but still, man, Senegal, you've got to make a move. They keep letting this tick ever so much lower. The bomb, it's all the way back towards the B ramp. They're just going to have to go up to the site and hope things work at this point. There has been a CT smoke thrown in, but they've gone straight through it without a respect in the world given to it. 4v5 as QB's been picked off in middle. The post plant will start, and Soulfly wants to get an angle behind this smoke, but what happened to him? Some weird clipping is really the reason he falls there, because he's stuck behind something that I didn't see anything in his way. And LNZ's bullet strays onto him, which is a big deal. Now Sensei through the smokes brought one back. It's not necessarily planted for anyone, and Rolf knows that. Sitting behind this pillar, tries to get the kill. Oh my god, Sensei! He flies through the smoke, gets one on the off, but ZTR hops right back on the defuse. The kill, it's in the nick of time, and it looks like the ninjas don't have it. Chiquinho, call it a day, man. It's gonna be a 9. Oh my god, that was chaotic. And I'm sure we'll get a replay of what just happened there, but I love the balls on Sensei for that one. He picks off one through the smoke. Here's the bomb being defused, flies up to find the no-scope, and the real hero is Scrunk at the very last second with his last couple of bullets, puts him into the domes of Sapich and ZTR, which wins them the round because of it. And that is a heartbreaker for the ninjas, who are now sent once again back to pistols. Spotted over at the B ramp is a whole horde of T's, but that's not going to be slowing them down, or maybe it will. The smoke was thrown in, and I thought they were just going to exec off of that, but they pulled some CTs into the bomb site, including a rotation in the likes of Chiquinho. You can be confident with how things are panning out right now, because we're starting to see Rolf activate on a big flank. He's going to clear all his corners and check through middle. But it looks like Senegal have an inkling suspicion that somebody's doing this exact play, though I love the info that's being gotten by the young ninjas right now. Even though it's just the pistols, they've got to at least show some sort of force. And now, the young ninjas have cleared all the way out through B, all the way out through middle, leaving only one spot of attack left. Unless Senegal Esports look to retake a part of this map, but middle, that's going to be the destination for them. Tagged down is Kyubi to 25, and once again, it looks like this plot is about to be foiled. The remainder of this util is going to start to get chucked in. And they're running out of avenues of approach, right? Young ninjas, they can easily adapt to what's going on. They should be able to rotate pretty much all of their players in. And Chiquinho will strike first. Trade it out, but still a lot of damage inflicted. And Senegal Esports, it's not going to be comfy going into this bomb site. ZTR on the boost, taps away Corey, and he's just going to grab that AK tuck back into the A tunnels. Bomb's gotta go down, and there's so many CTs to take care of. QB's giving him a little bit of a gap to work with, but ZTR still an absolute nuisance over in the A tunnels. This kill's gotta come through, and he knows, just stay alive, my friend. That's all he's gotta do. Trying to plant the bomb. Scrunk's coming from CT, and Jaquinho's dropped the planter. No, LNZ has. And with the AWP that's been recovered, he saves around for the Young Ninjas. Can't be relying on things like that, though, if I'm going to be real with you. That's a big round to pick up, but was still very ugly. The Desert Eagles, though, is something we have to keep into factor. Can they replicate the success of rifles? Because they consistently have not been able to do so. And now you can see Senegal, they have to worry about the A tunnels because that's what really exploited them in the last round. With how far Rolf got, with how much info he got because of that empty position. They have to keep their eye on it now with only 2 rounds remaining in the half. The Ninjas look to end it off on a high note. Unless the European/Turkish squad can put that to a quick halt. Ooh, what's this smoke? What is this smoke from Corey? Hold up. I haven't seen this one. Is this just a donut smoke from tunnels? I think it is, based on how he's lined up. But this is still sick. I haven't really seen any smoke lineups from here. And there, he missed it. He missed it. We'll never know, guys. But we're about to know how this tight take goes down. So far, not the greatest, but trades may look at, bring it back to a doable standpoint. Still got to go through Jaquinho's AWP. And with the bomb dropped into the open, you've got to commit at this point. Everybody from Senegal Esports is split up from one another. Corey's left to his AWP at the A site. And obviously, it's not a gun that you don't want to have, but QB, different story with the AK-47. Mows down 3 people in his way and single-handedly paves his path into the A-bomb site. Leaving it once again up to LNZ. Last time he found the success with off. This time he's looking to repeat it with the A1S, but since nothing goes his way going through that smoke, it looks like he's just going to pack it in once again and call it a day. Senegal Esports, bare minimum, walk into the next half with 10 rounds. And that's just huge, man. We haven't really seen too much from QB, right? When he's been tested, yeah, he's been able to hold his own weight at least. Usually that's been the case, but he comes up big in this round. In a round where Young Ninjas arguably don't have a path where they can lose it. Everything's being held. The bomb's in the open. Jaquinho's posted on the A tunnels push with the op. And you've even got a couple of more players behind them. Which doesn't matter. QB tears off 3 heads and single-handedly wins them the round. And this difference between the 2 teams looks to continue its increase as it stays at about 6 rounds average. And with only 1 more remaining in the half, you must as well just force up to see what you can get done. Looks like they bought their guns from the bargain bin for the Young Ninjas. Jaquinho, well, he's been able to splurge out with the AWP, but past him in the A1S on LNZ that's been saved over, it's really nothing to scoff at. Not much util either, with only 1 kit to assist them. They are really relying on the kills to just go their way. Sensei with the AWP gets boosted up onto the box. Oh, wow, okay. ZTR, I feel like he should have been punished, but Soulfly manages to just keep his hand off of the keyboard and wait to see if he gets a peek. As soon as the smoke fades, though, the Young Ninjas might be in for a world of hurt. Boosting above the smoke, too. I love that from Senegal Esports. I've not seen that before. At least, I haven't seen it in a very long time. They got a chip shot, but it didn't do them anything, so. Still as tough of a task as ever, as there's now a minute remaining in the round. They take control of Cave with Jaquinho's on posted for the first contact, swinging back in. Looks like this hold may go their way. Jaquinho, with 12 HP to spare, lives to tell the tale with a 3-on-4 in their wheelhouse. 40 seconds, and it still looks like they want to converge at the B site. You gotta be careful. 1 bullet's the difference between you and Jaquinho, and after getting that kill, he knows he could just chill in the corner, wait. He hears that all posted on him, no real reason to swing in. They got to make the move. Flash comes up, looks away, fires a shot into the well or into the wall, and just doesn't connect. Still a 2-on-3. They still have to bring some kills back. Kyubi, he was the hero in the previous round, but they're not going to clear up this cubby. No way, no how. Sensei can't do anything either. And at least they ended off with a 5th. But look, man, I told you about an unsung liberty of being on the T side, where you don't have to pick up a couple of rounds in a row, where you can be happy picking up a round here or there. Now, I don't know if the Young Ninjas misheard me, but I said the T side, not the defense. You can't be getting 5 rounds on your CT side. I guess there is still time, so I won't say things are all said and done just yet, but minus a pistol round here, and they may as well just be. The Ninjas looking to take out their middle are only going to be faced against one man in Skrunk's USP. And everything's silent for the time being. Nobody wants to make an error just yet, at least not until the team shows up. But with ZTR having the bomb been spotted on his back, the entire gambit's been sold, and now they have to make their move. Thankfully, it works out for them, as Sapich and Rolf are laser sharp and laser accurate with the Glocks to lock in 2 kills. Now, panic rotations cross the board. Skrunk's moved in from house, and he's the next man on the board, at least to fall. 2v5, and it looks like the Ninjas have newfound life on this offense. Bomb looks to be planted. Sensei wants to creep up through the smoke. I'm not too sure if the footsteps were hurt, but I'm also not too sure if it's going to matter. Soulfly finally locks in something for Sangal Esports, but very, very long shot from being anything successful, though they do know where 2 of these T's lie. Hold on a second, because things could get interesting. They are expecting the flank from LNZ, and now they should know where both of the remaining Young Ninjas players are. There's a kit down. It's just being stuck by Soulfly. Protect the president. That's what he's saying. Sensei stabbed to A3, and Sangal Esports win a 2-on-5. What was that? Sensei, he lives up to his name. He is the master with the USP. I need a replay on that. Where's my replay? What the hell? I can't believe it. I actually cannot believe we just saw that. And I was saying, you know what? The Ninjas, maybe they still got something to show us. Yeah, they still got a chip on their shoulder to prove that they can win this game. No. They get shut down, and they're salty about that one. You can see running back with a quick B-rush. I don't know if this one's going to go anywhere near as well as the pistol did for you. This time, they're the ones taking the first casualty, but it's not getting too far out of hand. Instantly equalized to go back into a 4-on-4. And everybody's just going to play patiently. They know they've got a flank coming in from all the way in the B ramp. Nade's going to bounce deep into the back lanes. Won't do too much damage just yet, but Corey's MP9 says otherwise as they wield a 2-man advantage coming in under the retake. And the chances for the Young Ninjas continue to go down and down. So does their health bars. As another round is secured by this of the Turkish-European mix. And my God, are they looking like a juggernaut right now. I think we've got that pistol replay for you now. Yeah, this was beautiful, man. Sensei, what a player, man. All it takes is 2 bullets. Both of them fall. What do you do against it? Nothing is the answer. My God, that is crazy. And that was a force buy, too. Sure, Young Ninjas could run it back with another force, but it'd probably go the exact same way. You finally got to concede and give them this eco. Which means you're giving up an 8-round gap, an 8-round differential right now. I also love how QB is on the boost over at A, and he's just off the map. Like, this isn't a UI problem for us. This is just a CS thing. That's not a spot, apparently, on the radar for this map. In comes the A-hit. Pistols galore as the smoke fades. The Galil looks to mow them down at the seams as Kyubi is thankfully the Young Ninja's only good for 1 just yet, but he goes in for a repeat, ready to tap them all into oblivion. Barely misses the head of the 5th, but Corey's got the instant trade. 13 locked in, and 3 from the finale. We are not too far from Overpass. At least that's the way it feels right now. And if Young Ninjas play like this on Overpass, this is going to be one of the quickest duos you've seen in a while. We can even get a quick look at this again, man. People dog on the Galil. And you know what? I don't think Kyuubi's having any of that. He makes it look like it's an AK. Speaking of AKs, Young Ninjas got them, but what can they do with them so far? Maybe not the greatest. As they fall into 63, we're going to see a boost coming in through middle. Corey, this is not the man you want tapping at heads, but neither is Sapich, as he is done with the shenanigans. He'll go good for the first kill. They know there's still a man in middle, but an 8 being bounced back in is going to demand some respect for the time being. Only takes a stray bullet before he has to fall away. And the Molotov will keep it that way. He's able to at least keep his life going back into the 4-on-5. And look, man, you'd probably like to say, yeah, Sangal Esports shouldn't have this round, and they shouldn't. But then I think back to the 2v5 on the pistol, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna make a statement on that just yet. Good stack from Sangal. It's pretty perfect right now as the Ninjas all recuperate over at the B bomb site, and they're not even content with this. They're pushing all the way through. They're gonna find the bomb here in a second. Uh-oh, things aren't going too well for them, at least not as planned. It leaves it to Kyuubi. He needs to pull something magical in the 1v3. And with the bomb dropped in the B ramp, he does have ample time to isolate the 1v1 gunfights as he looks to tuck behind the safety of his own smoke. 20 seconds remain. Young Ninjas, they've got to go back in, and they're going to play it smart going up together, but as he continues to pick up this utility, they realize that they're just going to have to go straight through this, trying to boost above the smoke, now run boosting straight through it. Sapich locks in the round by clearing his corners, and thankfully the Young Ninjas get around on the T side. Not to be tampered away from the victory line, though, is Sangal Esports as they instantly reinvest. Now, plus the AWP that's been missing, so it gets harder with Young Ninjas winning the previous round, which is kind of funny to think of. ZTR, a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. Here's 2 of them running straight through Donut, but he can't do anything to stop it, and neither can Kyuubi. The A site's fallen. Nobody can defend it. Sensei's brought one back. But he's going to have to do a whole hell of a lot more than that if they want to win this one. And Soulfly can't contribute as he's been taken down without even looking the correct direction. And another 2v4 sprouts up in the favor of the Young Ninjas, but this time it doesn't look like Sangal have any care to go for this one. Just keep the guns into the next round because you're saving in it anyway. So still, a little bit of hope emerges from the Swedes, the Young Guns, the Academy of the Academy of Ninjas in Pajamas. Who I come into the series thinking, yeah, they're probably taking it. Should be them 2-0. I just look like an idiot who's never seen Counter-Strike in my life. Well, oh well. I honestly, look, dude, the Sangal Esports are balling. They're balling. That is a different pair of gloves. That is a different pair of gloves than we saw in the last half. So, yeah. If you want your inventory to be anything close to these guys, then you might as well enter in the Hellcase giveaway. All right? Take it from me. Having gloves is better than not having gloves, even if it's a crappy pair. We're not giving away a crappy pair, but gloves are cool. Anyway, so is this game. They're about to go and hit A, and, well, Sensei's not too far away with the EWP. Straight to the smoke, and he's got one up to the block. Okay, still a 4-on-4. I'm surprised that he's able to get away at least with a kill there. And he still wants more. Trying to chip into the smoke is Corey's USP, and finally they eliminate that of the open Sensei. So now their chances of even contending in this round instantly decreased to pretty much 0. Skrunk still looking for an avenue of approach through this smoke, but Rolf spins around at the perfect time to catch him. 2-on-4, make that 1-on-4 as Corey's left with nothing more than a USP and 60 health, and he's even getting crunched on. Nothing to be said for the Young Gun as ZTR eliminates 2 of them to win Young Ninja's 8. Big round on the cards. Well, at least I thought it would be, but no. I love this, by the way. I love this from Sangal Esports. Plenty of money to buy. You can get rifles, you can get utility, you can get whatever you want, but they're not doing it. They're taking the disciplined approach. They're keeping with the pistols. I like this because now you're giving yourself more than just one opportunity to buy. In the next round, you're going to have plenty of money to buy, and more so, in fact, which means you're probably going to be able to get 2 rifle rounds in a row off of this, which I like. So, props to you, Sangal. That being said, we still got to see what they can do with the pistols, which so far hasn't been very much. A little bit of util to be mixed in, as they, for the time being, want to keep the ninjas out of this B-bomb site. ZTR not going to be caught on the jiggle of Skrunk. Could be a false sense of security as the Molotov comes into front cave. He just dumps it behind the back wall. Bounces it off and once again provides them temporal cover, but he can't do that for himself as Jaquinho's boost is too much to take care of. Well, yeah, there's really nothing stopping the young ninjas from just taking this B site. Skillfly tries to get something done on the flank, but looks like Corey can finally answer back with the Deagle kill. Looking for more, he almost gets an extra one through the smoke. Oh my lord, these Deagles continue to do so much chip damage. But they don't know this, unfortunately, at least for Sangal Esports. Smile. As they continue to try to creep in. Not much to lose. You might as well give it a little bit of a go and a look in. Or maybe not. Corey's been able to retrieve an AK-47, so good stuff for him. And I guess saving your kit and armor ain't too shabby either, so a worthwhile save. But at some point, we're going to have to stop saying, okay, you know, a worthwhile save. Good on them for saving the AUG. Good on them for saving the AK. Or good on them for getting a couple of kills. Like, yeah, it is a big lead that they had. What, 13-5? An 8-round gap that they could have used to close out this game. That's going to continue to close against them. With every round you let the young ninjas creep back in, is every extra bit of pressure put on your shoulders to close this out as fast as possible. And I thought that save in the previous round was to allow him to have a couple of rifles in a row, but apparently I was just dead wrong. Some more mid-util usage, but a missed Molotov grants them leeway into it. Never mind. Corey's prepared to take action, gets the kill, and even ZTR's fell into 12 HP at least. I think he's over towards B. So a good start from Sangal could be what they need to close this one out. Once again, though, the ninjas look to encompass on this B-bomb site. They've identified a weakness, and they want to continue pouncing on it. Plenty of utility to get them in, but this time around, they're going against at least 3 defenders, and 2 of your players, well, they're not in the healthiest of conditions. Thankfully, Jaquinho walks away, you know, scraped, but shouldn't have been. He shouldn't be alive. That left side smoke bounces in, and Sensei's AWP is cut off from this site defense, but I don't know if they're comfortable with that. Continuing to do damage, though. Look at the HP on some of these offenders, man. The young ninjas have a combined total, of like 25 between 3 of them. But now they start to get mowed down, and the 2-on-5, this retake looks more of a fantasy. Rather, the post-plant looks more of a fantasy than it could be reality. Savage, 1-on-5. How many can he get? Only the 1. And Sangal Esports, they're fine with that. They'll take the 1 fatality with the 14th round lingering right behind it. Still, 2 from the finish, but I don't know. Something in me tells me that the ninjas are not out of this one just yet. Well, Pinnacle still not changing their favorites in this one. They're comfortable with Sangal closing out this map. They're chilling with it. They're confident in their pick. Can't blame them. Up by 5 rounds on the CT side of a map like Ancient. You don't expect much less. The only problem for that in the Turks is that there's going to be buys in every single one of these rounds. By the time that they can maybe get the money out of their hands, they'll have plenty of loss bonus to keep the investments coming. So that's something to look forward to if you're a Young Ninjas fan. Never a dull moment in the economy. But you also got to remember that a lot of the reason that Sangal Esports won the previous round is because how much damage was dealt in the early states of it. Like, coming into that beat exec, 2 or 3 players had 1 HP left. This time around, doesn't look like people will be tagged up because the kills are just going to come straight through. Sensei this time wins the engagement onto Jaquinho, and that causes problems. One of your big players is now out of the equation, minus the AWP, and you still got to go retrieve that bomb. I wonder if they're going to forget about it too, because they're about to take in the middle, and nobody's even considering going back for it just yet. Well, LNZ looks to get a bit investigative over towards the mid-house as this smoke fades away. They both sit on opposite sides of each other. They being Corey and LNZ, but Corey, a sharpshooter, easily wins his duel to put him in a 3-on-5. Still, damage gets inflicted on his Soulfly as the molly burns him out of cover. Nobody punishes, though. He jumps away, gets spotted with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Once again, they look to hit the B site. Didn't work out too well for him in the previous round. The spam almost goes against them as well as they go to push in through CT. Kills are traded back and forth. Sensei's AWP looks to triple up, but no, it's Rolf once again, the hero. And now Kyubi, he's got to pull back a 1v2 for his team to lock in the round. They both dumped themselves back to the, at least the ramp. And Kyubi does have a molly. If he throws it in, taps the bomb, this is a completely different story. They both decided to stick around. He's cleared out all of this map control. And in a second, he honestly might just be able to assume that they're both over towards the A ramp. And he does. Molotov comes in, taps the bomb, expects them to come through it. Rolf gives them the peek. Now he's just going to stick it. ZTR burns alive at the stake, but no, he gets off the bomb. Kyubi could have had the round right there, but Sangal Esports, the throwaway of a century, gives Young Ninjas double digits. And man, oh man, Sangal are going to look back at this VOD and be so upset, especially if they lose this map. Now, imagine, they lose this rifle, you're giving them another eco. The Ninjas now are only at a 2-round deficit and pretty much 1 rifle victory away from bringing this back to a doable point. And what a throwaway that would be, am I right? Man, oh man, that'd be something that you wouldn't be able to live down. Straight up. Well, again, not like the game is over just yet, but I still do fancy Sangal's chances to close this one out. It is a bit weaker than it was with the investment in the last round, but I don't know how far that's going to stretch in the favor of the Young Ninjas, as there's really only one weakened weapon to try to abuse. And now, once again, just running it back. The Ninjas trying to isolate this map control. And Jaquinho, well, he's going to get one back on Sensei. A couple of rounds in a row now, they've been taking engagements, and it's pretty much even for the both of them. With an extra couple of kills being flown in the way of the Young Ninjas, they're sitting pretty to win this one. Still got to go through a couple of heavy hitters, though, for the Sangal side, and it's not going to be doing him any favors. Kyubi doubles down, and you still got to go through Corey. A 3-on-5, they don't care whatsoever. 2 kills between Kyubi and Corey put Sangal Esports once again in the driver's seat. Jaquinho, the stand-in, the young gun with the AWP in his hands, tagged up by Amali, will give some information over to Sangal Esports, and he knows it. The cover's blown. Timer will continue to tick down, and he has no control of the bomb. He's got to go back to it. And he gives so much time for Skrunk's flank to continue its activation. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it freely. Is he even going to expect somebody to be in the A tunnels? It looks like he is, looking back between the angles. But with how many spots you have to clear out on this A bomb site, it's next to an impossibility, man. Slow and steady wins the race, though. There is a world where he can get this bomb down and maybe isolate some of the picks. There is enough time to go B as well, so this is a very big gap in the defense, and I thought for a second he was just going to try to sprint it through CT. Bomb plant being heard, and it looks like they want to wait for Scrunk to come in through the A tunnels, and a beautiful bait and switch setup mounts them well as Sangal Esports lock in a 2v5, or rather 3v5 conversion, and put themselves on map point. 5 chances to close it out and send themselves up 1 map going into the Ninjas map pick. And it all comes down to this, right? There was a little bit of a comeback coming from the Swedes. It looked like they were ready to fight for this map, but you got to remember just all the advantages that you have on the defense of this map. It's so unforgiving, and they're learning that one the hard way. Pretty much the same that we saw in the previous round, but it was really the late engagements that they weren't able to close out, which costed them big time. And this time they take care of Corey. Scrunk, the 1G, that's unfortunate. And they find themselves sitting in the exact same spot they did in the previous. They get to try to run it back, see if they can close it out this time, but there's a double up setup inbound for Sangal Esports. You know, I think back to last round when I said you still got to go through some of the heavy hitters. And then I realized everybody's a heavy hitter on this Sangal Esports side right now. But with damage continuing to add up and up against that of Sangal, looks like the Young Ninjas give themselves ample opportunity to continue their run in this map. And they continue to take their time. The util, it's okay on both sides, considering Sangal only have 3 players, 4 flashes of smoke and an 8 ain't that bad. But something still needs to be done with it, and they decide to take the gamble stack at the A site. It won't pay off for them as the Ninjas have read the proper defense. They've gone to the right site, meaning they should be able to lock in 11 rounds, but it should be a stalemate at this point, because the Ninjas, the money isn't the greatest, right? You can't afford to go willy-nilly throwing away these guns. You might as well just keep them. Maybe you send, like, ZTR or Rolf out to find a kill or 2. You've got a couple of bucks on those players, so wouldn't be the end of the world if they fell. But it means everything to Sangal, who have absolutely no cash built up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Corey and Scrunk just call it a save in the next round, play around these guns, maybe even invest armor. But it should, like I said, just be a stalemate. Both teams, all right, stay where you are. We're okay with this. And the effects start to rain in. In the past couple of rounds, too, it's really been the early states that screw over Sangal Esports in the long run. If they lose the first 2 picks, uncontested goes the Young Ninjas. Look, the most damage that they take in that round is to the bomb explosion. That's saying something. But is that going to be enough, right? Like, you've got to get 4 more rounds in a row on the T side. You know what they say, losing like 16-14, 16-13, it almost feels worse than getting 16-0'd. Oh, early nade damage. Gonna do a hefty amount to that of the Young Ninjas, who even get a little bit of a tag with the Molotov. Won't be anything too crucial, but still something to keep track of as it gives an audio cue over to Sangal Esports, who huck in another nade. Look at all of this util damage, man. Sapich, Chiquinho, both worse for wear without even taking a head-on-head engagement. But they know the effects of what's going on. They know that they can't afford to make another mistake. So they continue to play it so slow. And once again, they look to regroup over at B, but I don't think it's going to catch Sangal Esports off guard this time around. Double up setup still in play, but luckily for them, they only have to deal with senseis, if that's lucky, I guess. I wouldn't say it is, but be happy that you don't have to go through QBs as well, all right? Take the little W's. They're taking so much time, too, which Sangal are going to be happy with because they have plenty of utility to keep them out of this bomb site. In fact, you're probably going to see them continue to dump these smokes over on the B ramp as much as they possibly would. Let's go through. It looks like Scrunk wants info, spots out 3, and now the jig is up. They've got to go for the exec, and now trapped behind smokes are the Sangal Esports defenders who can only pepper in shots through it. Wouldn't get them very far, though, as nobody's vulnerable to them at the time being. One goes deep in CT, but it really shouldn't be doing much because Sensei should be telling them, like, hey, we're here. You don't have to worry. You gotta worry about Corey and Soulfly, though, as they've been able to put things back to a 3-on-3, and Sensei's off isn't comfortable with that. They continue to add up these kills, and remember that help that I was talking about? Now it might be a bit of a factor for them. Another smoke gets chucked into Cave where they know at least one Young Ninjas player lies. And QB's just going to decide to stick the bomb. The tap comes through. They'll want to swing through the smoke. The footsteps heard. Sensei's laser sharp on the shot, but now it's all up to the spam. That's what he's relying on. Sensei locks a couple of shots in, and Sangal Esports locking the map. 16-11, and what a way to end it. Who better to end it? Sensei with a no-scope and a beautiful shot. Locks. That's just beautiful for them. The fact that they win that as comfortably as they do is actually shocking. Usually when you see the bomb planted there, it's just chaotic, man. Spams left, right, and center. LNZ even tries to work